हरे कृष्ण। ममालं प्रेम पुमार्तो महान् श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभुर्मतमिदं तत्रादरो नापरः तत्रादरो नापरः। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। श्री श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ठीक है। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुम् उन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथामितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Would like to welcome all the devotees present here for the today's morning Bhagavatam class. Would like to offer my humble obeisances unto all the devotees, and I request all of you to kindly bless me so that I am able to discuss today the verse in this chapter. Shri Bhagavatam, we are discussing 11th canto, chapter 3, and the title of this chapter is Liberation from the Illusory Energy. So today, text number 35. Kindly recite to me. Sthiti budbhava pralaya heturasya Stityudbhava pralaya heturasya Yat swapna jagara susuptishu sadabhischa Yat swapna jagara susuptishu sadabhischa Yat swapna jagara susuptishu sadabhischa Dehendriyasu hridayani charanti ena Sanjivitani tadavahe param narendra Sanjivitani tadavehi param narendra Shri Piplayana Uvacha Stityudbhava pralaya heturasya Yat swapna jagara susuptishu sadabhischa Dehendriyashu hridayani charanti ena Sanjivitani tad avehi param narendra Shri Piplayana Uvacha Stityudbhava pralaya heturasya Yat swapna jagara susuptishu sadbhischa Dehendriyashu hridayani charanti ena Sanjivitani tad avehi param narendra Shri Piplayana Uvacha Stityudbhava pralaya heturasya Yat swapna jagara sushuptishu sadbhischa Dehendriyashu hridayani charanti ena Sanjivitani tadavehi param narendra Shri Piplayana Uvacha Stityudbhava pralaya heturasya Yat swapna jagara sushuptishu sadbhischa देहेन्द्रियाशु हृदयानि चरन्ति येन संजीवितानि तद् अवेहि परं नरेन्द्र। श्री पिप्पलायन उवाच स्थित्युद्भव प्रलय हेतुरहेतुरश्च यत्स्वप्न जागर सुषुप्तिषु सदा भयिष्य देहेन्द्रियाशु हृदयानि चरन्ति येन संजीवितानि तदवेहि परं नरेन्द्र। माताएं श्री पिप्पलायन उवाच स्थित्युद्भव प्रलय हेतुरहेतुरश्च यत्स्वप्न जागर सुषुप्तिषु सद्बहिष्य देहेन्द्रियाशु हृदयानि चरन्ति येन संजीवितानि तदवेहि परं नरेन्द्र। श्री पिप्पलायन उवाच स्थित्युद्भव प्रलय हेतुरहेतुरश्च यत्स्वप्न जागर सुषुप्तिषु सद्बहिष्य देहेन्द्रियाशु हृदयानि चरन्ति येन संजीवितानि तदवेहि परं नरेन्द्र। हरे श्री पिप्पलायन उवाच स्थित्युद्भव प्रलय हेतुरहेतुरश्च यत्स्वप्न जागर सुषुप्तिषु सद्बहिष्य देहेन्द्रियाशु हृदयानि चरन्ति येन संजीवितानि तदवेहि परं नरेन्द्र। हरे कृष्णा। Synonyms, word to word meaning. Shri Pippalayana Uvacha. Shri Pippalayan said, Sthiti of the creation, Udbhava, maintenance, Pralaya, and destruction, Hetuhu, the cause, Ahetuhu, itself without cause, Asya, of this material universe, Yat, which, Swapna, in dream, Jagara, wakefulness, Susuptishu, in deep sleep or unconsciousness, Sat, which exists, Bahicha, and external to them as well, Deha, of the material bodies, of the living entities, Indriya, the senses, Asu, life airs, Hridayani, and minds, Charanti, act, Ena, by which Sanjivitani, given life, Tat, that, Avehi, please know, Param, to be the supreme, Nara, Indra, O king. Translation and purport by the dear disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki translation. Sri Pippalayana said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of the creation, maintenance and destruction of this universe. Yet he has no prior cause. He pervades the various states of wakefulness, dreaming, and unconscious deep sleep, and also exists beyond them. By entering the body of every living being as the super soul, he enlivens the body, senses, life airs, and mental activities. And all the subtle and gross organs of the body begin their functions. My dear King, know that personality of Godhead to be the Supreme. There's a very long purport, so we'll try to read this. So this is the answer to the question 5th of Nimi Maharaj to Nava Yogendra, and one of the Nava Yogendra Pipalayana is answering this question. So yesterday Vishnunam Prabhuji has very nicely explained the text yesterday. It was text number 34. So King Nimi inquired, please explain to me the transcendental situation of the Supreme Lord, Narayana, who is himself the absolute truth and the super soul of everyone. You can explain this to me because you are all most expert in transcendental knowledge. So Nimi Maharaj asked this question, please explain me the status sthiti of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Brahman, super soul. And in response to this, in this verse, the Pipalayana, Nava Yogendra, is explaining this. So in the purport, in the previous verse, King Nimi inquired about the various aspects of the absolute truth, namely Narayana, Brahman and Paramatma. Now, says Sri Pipalayana explains these 3 features of the absolute truth in the same order in which the king mentioned them. Sthiti, Udbhava, Pralaya Hetu refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who expands himself as the triple Purusha incarnation, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Are described in Bhagavatam, Jagre Purusham Rupam Bhagavan Mahadadibihi Sambhutam Shodasakalam Ado Loka Shishrikshaya. In the beginning of the creation, the Lord first expanded himself in the universal form of the Purusha incarnation and manifested all the ingredients for the material creation. And thus, at first, there was the creation of the 16th principle of material action. This was the purpose of creating the material universe. Thus, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, is mentioned here as Hetuhu, or the supreme cause of the creation, maintenance and annihilation of the cosmic situation. Still, there is no cause of the Lord himself. He is Ahetuhu, as expressed in the Brahma Samhita, Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. The Supreme Lord is the cause of all causes, and being the eternal absolute truth, he has no cause of himself. The word Ahetu has also been explained by Srila Jiva Goswami to indicate that Supreme Lord has his original form as Krishna in his own transcendental abode called Krishna Loka. Since Krishna is always engaged in his blissful pastimes in the company of his eternal liberated associates, he is aloof from the affairs of this world, which is created by his external potency known as Maya. Therefore, it is stated, Jagrahe Paurusham Rupam, the Lord expands. The Lord expands himself as Narayana and Vishnu to facilitate the gross illusion and gradual rectification of the conditioned soul. The Lord's aloofness from the material creation is also described in Vedas. Na tasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. The absolute truth has nothing to do, since everything is done self-sufficiently by his multi-potencies. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has pointed out that even though the Supreme Lord Krishna is Ahetu or causeless and aloof from the causes of material creation, the Lord is also described in this verse as Hetuhu. or the ultimate cause of the creation, maintenance and annihilation of the material manifestation. Because he expands himself as Paramatma or the super soul who acts as the prime mode of the cosmic manifestation. The word ahetu may also be understood in another way. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, Apareyam itastu anyam prakritim vidhime param jiva bhutam mahabhava yayedam dharyate jagat. The conditioned living entity Jiva Bhuta desire to engage in sense gratification with their material senses. Manashyastani indriyani prakritistani karshati. Thus the creation of the material world becomes necessary. In fact, the material cosmos manifestation continues to exist because of the desires of the conditioned soul to exploit it. Yayedam dharyate jagat. The government must create a prison to accommodate those citizens who are inclined to criminal activity. There is no need for any citizen to live in an obnoxious condition of the prison. So this part, the first Sthiti Udbhava Pralaya Hetur Aheturashya. So this is explained in 2-3 paragraphs of this purport. Lord Krishna is the original cause of everything. In the beginning of the creation, Lord Krishna, the Mahapurusha, and he is also called as Karanodakashai Vishnu. Three Rupani Vishnu. Vishnu expands in three Rupa. The first one is Karanodakashai Vishnu. Karanodakashai Vishnu is laying down onto the Karana Udaka, the Karana Sagar, the ocean, causal ocean, and from the pores of his body, innumerous Brahmanda are created. Innumerable universes are created just from the pores of his hairs. And that is the Supreme Lord. And then this same Karanodakashaya Vishnu further expands and enters into each Brahmanda. Each of the universe he enters again as Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. And from the novel of this Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, a lotus sprouts, and from the center of this lotus, Lord Brahma is created. So Lord Brahma is said to be the secondary creator of this universe. Although goddess of fortune, Mata Lakshmi, is serving the lotus feet of the Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, but without the help of Mata Lakshmi, the Lord creates Brahmaji. That is the supreme position of the Lord. And then this Garbhodakashaya Vishnu further expands into Kshirodakashaya Vishnu and enters into the hearts of each living entity. So these are the three rupas of Mahavishnu, Karanodakashaya Vishnu, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. In every item of each of the universe, and in all Jivatma, the Kshirodakashaya Vishnu resides as the Paramatma. Now, who is the cause of this creation? Hetuhu and Ahetuhu. Both cause and effect. Both are Lord Vishnu. So in this verse it is said, Sthiti Udbhava Pralaya Hetur Ahetur Ashya. So he is the cause, and also he is not connected with this material world in Hetu and Ahetu. Everything emanates from him, but still he is aloof from it. So that's why he is described as Hetu and Ahetu. So this is the Achintya Bheda Veda Tattva. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains Achintya Bheda and Abheda Tattva. So Dehuti Mata, the mother of the Kapil Bhagwan, when she heard all the transcendental subject from Kapil Bhagwan, and then she was astonished how the Lord Kapila was born from her womb, but the whole universe is in Lord's womb. So it's a very beautiful verse. After listening from the Kapil Bhagwan, the Sankhya Yoga Shastra, that everything is created, the whole universe is created from the Lord Narayana. But still, and this whole universe is in the abdomen of that Narayana. The 14 universes, the Brahmaloka, Atal-lok, Sutal-lok, all these 14 universes are residing in the dates of that lotus flower. But still the Lord is not connected with this universe, he is aloof from it. So when Dehuti Mata hears this, she expresses her astonishment. Satvam brato me jathare nanatha katham nu yashodharaye tadasi vishvam yugante vatapatraye kahi shete swamaya shishurangripanah satvam brato me jathare nanatha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, you have taken birth from my abdomen. So Kapil Bhagavan was born from Dehuti Mata. So Dehuti Mata is saying, you are born from my abdomen, but this whole universe lies in your abdomen. How it is possible at the same time? But then she explains the same thing in the next lines of this verse. Yes, I can understand. When the pralaya was happening, when the devastation was happening, you showed the Bala Mukunda form to Markandeya Rishi. Markandeya Rishi wanted to see the annihilation, the Maya. And Lord, at the same time, when the universal devastation was happening, the Lord appeared as a small Bal Mukunda onto the leaf of a banyan tree. And he was suckling the toe of his lotus feet. And Markandeya Rishi was able to see this. But the whole universe is inundated with the the devastation water at the same time. So, Dehuti Mata says, the answer is that it is possible for at the end of millennium, you lie down on a leaf of banyan tree and just like a small boy, you lick the toe of your lotus feet. When that is possible, and this is also possible that you can take birth at the same time from my abdomen, but the whole universe is in your abdomen. So this is the Achintya Veda Veda Tattva. The Supreme Lord, Brahman, Piplayana Rishi is explaining the cause of this whole universe. He expands into 3 rupas, and then just like the cloth is woven into horizontal and vertical, the yarns, similarly, the whole entire universe is woven with the potencies of the Lord, both horizontally and vertically. So that is what this apareyam itastu anyam prakratim vidhi. The conditioned living entities. Now further, Piplayana Rishi is explaining from this verse how the Jivatma becomes a cause for this creation. Although this whole universe is created by the Supreme Lord, but ultimately the Jivas are the cause of this creation. How? Because of the desire. The individual entity have a desire to enjoy this material universe, material manifestation. And because of their desire to become the bird, to become a fish, to become a human being, to become a monkey, according to their karmas and the desire, the Lord has to create all these forms. So 8.4 million species are because of the desire of the Jivatma. So that is why the ultimately Jivas are the cause of this creation. And then the Maya, who is the potency of the Lord, external potency of the Lord, it is as instructed by the Supreme Lord. The Maya creates this illusory manifestation of this universe, and the Jivatma is bound and he is kept in the like a prison-like state in this material world. Because of the forgetfulness of the Supreme Lord, all the Jivatmas are bound by the three modes of material nature, Satoguna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. And this all 8.4 million species are created by just the combination of little of Satogun, little of Rajogun, little of Tamagun. And the combination of these three creates 8.4 million different varieties. And somebody has rightly said, there are 8.4 million ways to forget Krishna. Jivatma, because of the forgetful nature of Krishna, they are being bound in this material nature, and that's why Lord creates to facilitate them and then ultimately rectify them and bring back to the supreme abode. That is the purpose of this creation. Next he says, although various aspects of absolute truth are being described, the absolute truth is ultimately one, as stated in this universe. Tad avehi param Narendra. In the second line, King Nimi inquired about Brahman. And now this verse says, Yat sapna jagra susuptus tad bahischa. The Lord's all-pervading feature within wakefulness, dreaming and deep sleep, and his existence beyond these three mental states are understood to be manifestation of Brahman. It's very interesting. In Upanishads it is explained that how Jivatma in the three states, sometimes the Jivatma dreams, like he has become a king. But in a true sense, actually he is sleeping, but he is dreaming that he has become a king. And in the dream, sometimes he sees that he has lived for 80 years. At the end of his life, he has become a beggar. So this is happening in a fraction of a second. But in a dream, he is visualizing that he has become a king, and after some time he has become a pauper, a beggar, and a snake comes and bites him. And then he dies. This is all happening in the dream. This is called as Sapna Avastha. And Susupta Avastha means the deep sleep, where there is no dream. All his indriyas, senses are in a dormant state. That is called as Susupta. And awakening state, like we are walking, talking, eating and doing some work. This is the awakening state. So there are three states: awakening, Jagra, Susupta, deep sleep, and Swapna. So these are the three states. And then beyond this is the transcendental state, the pure Satoguna. This is the beyond all these three forms. So the Lord Brahman exists in all the three forms, and this has been created by the Lord. Although each of these states, Susupta, Swapna and Jagra, they are not connected to each. When somebody is in the Susupta state, he forgets that he is in the awakened state, and he forgets that he is in the dream state. And somebody, when he is in the dream state, he forgets that he is in the vacant state or in the deep sleep. So these are altogether different states, but the Lord exists even beyond them. And for all these manifestations, Lord remains as the Sakshi, the witness for the Jivatma. So that is in this verse, Yat Sapna Jagara Susupta Asad Bahishya. Even beyond this, the Lord exists. So this is the second line explained. Purna Brahma Satchit Ananda. The Lord, although he is a witness for all this, but he is not connected to anything else. So the Jivatma creates his own universe of Sapna Avastha, and because of his desire to enjoy with his material senses, he becomes a cause for this creation. The Lord has to fulfill his desire as a father and create this universe of variety. According to Srila Vishwanath Thakur, the multifarious manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead do not compromise His supremacy as one without a second. The absolute truth is Param Vyomanatha, or the Lord of the spiritual sky, who appears as two-armed Shyamsundara, as four-armed, eight-armed, or as having 1,000 arms. In each aspect, his body is eternal and full of bliss and knowledge, Satchidananda Murti. He appears on earth as Vasudeva, and within the causal ocean as Mahavishnu. He lies on the milk ocean as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, and rescues his helpless young devotee as Narsimhadeva, appearing as Lord Ramchandra. He acts as a perfect king, and appearing as Krishna, he steals the heart of everyone, and especially of young beautiful women. All these features of the Lord are indicated by the word Narayana, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just as the word President indicates not only the official duties of the President, but his personal family life and long intimate friendship as well. According to Shri Madhav Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, when one transcends an official understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and comes to the superior status of the love of Godhead, one can understand the Lord to be Krishna, the cause of all causes, the innumerable Vishnu. Expansion of the Lord are also understood to be plenary portion of the Sri Krishna. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. As the Lord himself states in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhav. These points have been explicitly clarified in the 10th canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam, as well as in the opening verse, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Janma Adasya Yato Anvayad Itaratasya. So, in this verse, how this whole creation is created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In response to the Nimi Maharaj question, Pippalayan Rishi is explaining that Brahman is the Hetu and Ahetu. He is the cause and also no cause. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So in Brahma Samhita it is explained. And ultimate, then secondary, Maya becomes the cause for this creation. The secondary creator. And then Jivatma becomes, again from the Jivatma perspective, Jivatma is the cause of creation. Because of his desire, the Lord has to create this whole universe. So this is how Pippalayan Rishi explains the questions by the Nimi Maharaj. So in this chapter, very beautifully, as we have seen from the previous verse, that Nimi Maharaj was a great saintly king. When the Navayogendra arrived at his sacrificial arena, Nimi Maharaj was very pleased and asked 9 questions to Navayogendras. And the first question was, what is the highest good for the humanity? The same question was asked by the Naimisharanya Rishis to Suta Goswami. Ekantika Shreya, what is the highest good? Same question was asked. And this was explained by Kavi. And the next question was, what are the religious principles? Dharma, Swabhava, Achara, Vakya, Lakshana. He asked this second question, and Havir explains this in the second chapter of the 11th canto. Then third question is, what is the external energy, Maya, of Vishnu, the Supreme Lord? This is the third question. Antariksha explains this in the third chapter. Fourth question was, how can one become associated from this, dissociated from this Maya? How can one be liberated from this Maya? So this was the first question in this chapter, chapter 3. Antariksha explains this. Yogendra Antariksha explained this. And the next question is, how can one become dissociated from this Maya? Prabuddha explains this. And fifth question the yesterday's question, what is the true identity of Brahman, Supreme Person? Pippalayana is explaining this 35th. And sixth question was, what are the three types of karma? Karma based on the enjoyment of the fruits of work, and akarma offered to the Supreme Lord. So these four questions, question number 3, 4, 5 and 6 are in this chapter. So this is a very long chapter and with long purpose in each of this chapter. Seventh question was, what are the various pastimes of the various incarnation of the Lord? Why Nimi Maharaj asked this question? Because end of this explanation, we have just seen that how the same Supreme Brahman expands into different incarnation. Like he became Narsimha to Prahlad Maharaj to save his young devotee, and he became Parashurama to kill the Kshatriyas. Like this, the Lord assumes different incarnations. And further to this, in seventh question, Nimi Maharaj asked this question, what are the various pastimes of this various incarnation of the Lord? So this is explained in fourth chapter of this 11th canto by Drumila. And eighth question was, what are the aim or destination of one who is against the Supreme Lord or the non-devotee? What are the destination of the non-devotees? So Chamas Rishi explains this in the 5th chapter of this canto. And the 9th question was, what are the respective colors, forms and names of the 4 Yugavatar, the 4 incarnation of the Supreme Lord, who appear in 4 ages, and what is the process of worshipping each of them? So Karavajana Rishi, the very famous verses which explains also the incarnation of the Gaurang Mahaprabhu, in the same chapter number 5, the 9th question is being explained. So these are the 9 questions as put up by Nimi Maharaj to Nava Yogendra. Prahlad Maharaj, when he prays, my Lord, this whole universe, whole creation is but your own manifestation. And I do not see anything beyond your potencies. And that's why I only understand that I should surrender to you. I pray to your lotus feet that kindly take me to your lotus feet so that I can be easily liberated from this Maya illusion. Yasmin yaryena cha yasya yasma yasmai yatha yadutayasta parah parova bhava karoti vikaroti bhavat svabhavam sanchoditasti dakilam bhavata swarupam. Sanchoditasti dakilam bhavata swarupam. It's all your own swarupa. The whole manifestation is only your swarupa. So in the next verse he says, therefore I offer my obeisances, my Lord. Kindly instruct me in your devotion. So ultimately, in each of these questions, when each of the Navayogendra explaining as an answer, as a response to the question, at the end of each explanation, they conclude that the devotion is the only thing by which one can be liberated from this material universe, material Maya. Only by devotion one can surpass this material Maya. Otherwise it's very difficult to cross this ocean of nescience. So Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Daivi Prakriti, Daivi hi esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Durataya Maveva ye prapadyante Mayam etam tarantite. So this material modes consisting of material universe consisting of 3 modes of material nature is very difficult to cross over unless one surrenders unto me. So that's why Lord instructs sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papyabhyo mokshayishyami ma shusha. So ultimately in all these 9 questions as a reflection and answer to this, they all have invariably explained that the devotion is the ultimate. And to receive the loving devotion of the Supreme Lord is the ultimatum for the human being. That is the as an also answer to the first question, and also concluding in each of the questions we will see that like for example here in this 3rd chapter, the 40th verse of this 3rd chapter, when one seriously engages in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, fixing the Lord's lotus feet within one's heart as the only goal of life, one can destroy the innumerable impure desires lodged within the heart as a result of one's previous spiritual work within the 3 modes of material nature. So ultimately in every question, after concluding they have explained this, one should take to the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. So kindly, if you have any questions or comments, yes, Pradeep. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So this was really very technical. So my question is, you mentioned about the desires and the body. So it's a very, it's a twisted question, but the thing is, I want to understand, in one lifespan, a man has so many desires, and the desires keep changing, you know. Today some desire may be very dominant, predominant, dominant, whatever it is, and maybe after 10 years some desires will change. At the time of death, maybe his desire will be something else. So wanted to know from the Bhagavad Gita that the bodies, as far as aquatics or birds, beasts, so the bodies are fixed. So just based on desire, a person will get a suitable body. So this desire, so what is predominant? At the time of death, if a person, let's say, is in association of nice Vaishnavas and he thinks about Krishna, say like Krishna or Balaram, whatever it is. So but his desire throughout his life is something different. But at the time of death, his desire completely changed. So what is dominant? Whatever he thought in his entire lifespan or just at the time of death, and Krishna will also accordingly give him a body. So what is it?
Okay. So very beautiful question. So man has got about 100 years of lifetime. And as Prabhuji said, the desires keep on changing. One person may be a dacoit in the early part of his life. But at the end of his life, he resorts to the devotional service of the Lord. At the end, when he remembers Lord, and he can be liberated. Like for example, Ajamila in Shri Madhav is one of the best examples. Although born in a Brahmin family, he was having a beautiful wife, a good family, but because of some bad association, he became a very wicked person. He married a prostitute, brought her home, killed his wife and sent his wife away and all the parents from the home, wanted to enjoy with the prostitute. But because of again association of some saintly person and his impression from maybe the previous part of his earlier part of the life, he happened to keep the last son of his name as Narayana. And because although not calling Narayana directly, he was addressing his son as Narayana repeatedly at the time of his death. Several times he is calling his own son, Narayana, come here, Narayana, eat it, Narayana, sit here, Narayana, drink this. So inadvertently he started chanting. And when he was on the bed, although during this 80 years of life, maybe from 20, 25 when he was young, when he saw a prostitute, from that to 80 years, almost 60 years, he resorted to all sinful activities, killing the people, looting the properties, just to keep the wife happy. But because he chanted the Lord Narayan's name, the devotion started. He inadvertently started in the path of devotion. And at the time of death, the accumulation of sin was so big. At the time of death, the Yamdutas came. They were about to bound him with the rope and take to Yamloka. But looking at them, he shouted, "Hey Narayana, hey Narayana." He actually shouted his son's name. "Narayana, where are you?" He was out of, fear. He called his name. Immediately, because he chanted Narayana, the demigods came, Vishnu, Dutas came. And they had a fight with the Yamaduta, and they relieved the Ajamila from the path of going to Yamloka and allowed him to live for 6 months. And he was having the 6 months. They said, "We will come again after 6 months." So because of the association of these demigods, and he understood that just by chanting Narayana, I was able to relieve from the hellish condition. And now onwards, I should not stay in this house for a moment. Immediately runs away from home, goes to some spiritual place and start performing devotion. And within the 6 months, because of his sincerity and that hankering for the devotion of the Supreme Lord, at the end of his life, the golden aeroplane came from the Vaikuntha Loka and took him back. This story we have heard. So it is immaterial what desires come in the initial stage, but it is significant what desires come at the end of the life. So in Bhagavad Gita, Anta kale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Ye prayati sadbhava yati nastaitra samshaya. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, if anyone remembers me at the time of death, he should to come back to me. Even however a wicked person, a sinful person may be, but he remembers the Lord, and that is the power of Lord's name. So desires may be anything. Otherwise, if a person has committed so many sinful activities, and then there would not have been the promise of the Lord. Just by surrendering, Lord has said, "I can relieve you from all the sins that you have committed so far. I will relieve you." This is a promissory note Lord has signed. It's like advance check Lord has signed. You just surrender it, and I will relieve you from all the sins you have committed so far. This is the mercy of the Lord. So I think the desires at the end are more important. So one who is fortunate, who associates with the devotees of the Lord and resorts to the devotion, he becomes perfect. I think I tried to answer your question for you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. In one of the slides, we saw that the desires was created by human, right?
Yeah.
If it is coming from me, then why am I not able to control them?
Okay, so very good question. See, the desires are because of the attitude of being away from the Lord. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata. Lord Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, because of the desire and dvesha of the Supreme Lord. We are all like the son of a king and enjoying previously in the kingdom of the Lord. Very beautiful kingdom. But somewhere the desire arises in the heart that why I have to serve this Lord. I want to become Lord myself. I want to become a king. I want to create my own world. This is the desire. Or sometimes we become jealous of the Lord's opulence. So seeing that the Lord is very kind. Although He tries to console their child, my child, you don't go from this place, you will have to suffer. But the Jivatma, because of the desire and hatefulness towards the Lord has created this material universe, which is full of miseries. And one is put into this condition, he is bound by the three modes of material nature. Unless one's desire one turns again towards the Lord, he will continue to take different bodies and suffer. This just because of the desire. That's why in Upanishads it is said, Manayeva Manushyanam Karana Bandhana Evacha. It's only mind, the desires come in the mind, isn't it? The storehouse of all the desires is the mind. So Manayeva Manushyanam Karana Bandhana Evacha. The only mind which is the cause of bondage and liberation. If one desires to enjoy this material world, one will be bound here. But one desires to surrender to the Lord, desires to associate with the devotees of the Lord, desire to serve the associate of the devotees of the Lord, he will travel into the path of liberation. And that relieves him, and again he can go back to spiritual world. Correct.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. Sarvasya Chaham means even the desire I have, I'm not independent in the desire. Because the memory of the desire is also coming. I can forget the desires.
Yes.
Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, please.
There is the sloka, Sarvasya Chaham Sannivishto Matta Smriti Jnanam Apohanam.
Yeah.
So in that explanation also that the Lord is the one who is reminding me of a desire. He's helping me forget something.
Yes.
And he's also helping me understand.
Remember.
Knowledge also. So if I am desiring something, I should not think that I am independently desiring something. The Lord probably is connecting me with some older desire and hence inspiring me to desire that now.
Yes.
And I am out of my foolishness thinking I am desiring it now.
Yes.
But actually I am not independently desiring it.
Okay. So this is a very interesting question. How the desires come? Desires basically come from association. And if the impressions of the association are very strong, sometimes the same desire recur, isn't it? Say for example, even today we are chanting and we are in devotions last so many years, but because of our previous life or maybe the early part of our life, we had a very bad association. Sometimes the desire again recur in the mind, isn't it? But we are the only cause for this, right? So Lord, being a Supreme Father, He does not interfere into the thinking of each individual. Like in our material father, he would like to do everything better for the child. But the child has an independent desire. Then the father at the end, he allows him, okay, I have done everything but you don't listen. Okay, wherever you are there, you be happy. So the Lord does not interfere. He has given a small independence. And that small independence, the Jivatma misuses. And then because of his desire and bad association, and then he continues to take into different form to enjoy this material, enjoy or suffer in this material world. Yes. So Lord Sarvasya Chaham Hrudi Sannivish, although he is remaining in the heart of all the entities, Vedaista Sarver Aham Vived. The purpose of Veda is to know me. And I am the creator of the Vedas. So that's Sarvasya Chaham Hrudi Sannivishto. That's what Lord explains it. Okay.
So Hare Krishna Prabhu, in this connection, one place in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells forgetfulness and remembrance comes from me.
Yes.
How we connect this in our
Yes, Prabhu. So Lord is so merciful that He has created this apohanam. Apohanam means forgetfulness. And the memory. This is all the Lord's mercy. We are so much dependent on the potencies of the Lord, energies of the Lord. Even the food that we eat, to digest that food, there is an Agni. The Lord, it comes by the Lord Himself. Vaishvanara Agni is also from the Lord. So everything we are dependent solely on the Lord. If the Lord has not created this forgetfulness, how difficult our life would have been. For example, in our previous life, I was a king, and today I am a pauper. So just if I had that remembrance, I would not live happily in this life. So it's the mercy of the Lord that He has taken that memory out so that you live happily at least in this life. That is the Lord's mercy. That's why He has created both forgetfulness and the remembrance. That's the potency of the Lord. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, Mataji.
What is the obstacle that prevents a sincere devotee from crossing Maya even they are doing the japa also?
What is the obstacle?
Yeah.
Okay. To cross the Maya. Okay. So, once Sachinandan Maharaj was explaining here, why the Jivatma, is away from the Lord. What is the obstacle? So somebody had asked the question here in this hall. Sachinandan Maharaj Ji was explaining, the sin stands as a wall between the Lord and the Jivatma. Why we do not come to devotion? Why we do not resort to devotion? Many times you may be having experience in your relatives or somebody, you are telling them that you chant, you come to the temple. Say, no, I don't want to come. So why that desire in their heart? So Maharaj says it is because of the sin. The sin stands as a wall between the Lord and the Jivatma. That does not allow him to go towards the Lord. And when that sin is vanished, one will turn to the Lord. Esham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmuktva bhajante mam dradavratah. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita. Antagatam papam. This papam, the wall of papa, when it is destroyed, then only one will come to the Lord. That may take this life, many life in the future. But that wall, sin has to be destroyed. And that sin comes because of the association. Jivatma somewhere in the past, he associated with the bad people, bad desire, and that sprouted like a plant in the heart, and that becomes a big wall. And because of that, he has created so many sinful activities. Kutam, bijam, phalam, prarabdha, aprarabdha. This is a cycle. That kuta is the desire, and because of that, he creates his own wall. That wall is a big obstacle to come to the devotion. But as soon as one surrenders to the Lord Vishnu, kramayana eva praliyate Vishnu bhakti ratatmanaha. One surrenders to Lord Krishna, and this wall of sin is destroyed, and he takes to the devotion. Yes, so that is a big obstacle. While doing japa, if there are some obstacle, this is only the thought process. Like for example, for the ocean, there are so many rivers coming. So these thoughts come. These thoughts are basically the obstacle. And in order to calm down these thoughts, the only thing is to chant. So we should try our mind to chant, concentrate on the Lord's lotus feet, and try to chant. The chanting is only the medicine for this. So even for stopping these desires and destroying this obstacle, the biggest medicine is chanting the Lord's name. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, सभी भक्तों की हरे कृष्ण। आपने कमल कर
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare